Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Tuesday, the 29th of August 2023, corresponding with the English date 11th of Safar 1445. Hazrat Wala starts off by quoting the text there, Inna salata mi'rajul abdi ila mawlah. That salat is the ascension, it is the mi'raj of the servant to his Rabb, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, make dua that our hamari namaz aise hi ho jaye, that our namaz becomes like that and should be like that. When you have the importance of salat, then the rectification of salat will automatically come. And together with all of this here, you should make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That it's written here, what is written here and what we are reading, may Allah ta'ala bless us with a great portion of that. So a person, it's most definite that when he is in salat, he's ascending and going towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it is for this reason that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that the coolness of my eyes lie in salat. Regarding the tahajjud salat, what did Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam say? Inna salata mi'rajul mu'min wal layl waqtu ijtima'il muhib bil habib. That the salat is the ascension of a believer, and the night is the time where the lover meets his beloved. He meets his beloved. Somebody asked Hazrat Maulana Zahurul Hasan regarding salat, that listen, khushu of salat, or was it Hazrat Tanvi, that what about khushu in salat, etc. They said, go and have a look and just go and see the salat of Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab. What type of humility and what type of earnestness that salat was performed. You know, we were very young, and Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab came to our house. Hazrat Wala is saying, I was very young and I see him in sajda and he is crying in sajda. And this had such a profound and deep effect on me that such a great buzruk, I actually was astonished and surprised, and he is pleading and crying so much to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On one occasion, I entered the private chamber of Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab, Hazrat Wala is saying, and Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab was pacing up and down, strolling, and we thought that Hazrat is Jalali and this and that, but what's coming out from his lips? What couplets is he saying? He says, Chupir shudi hafiz, az mein kada bayrun showad. Rindi wa hawasnaki dar ahd shabab awla. That O Wasiullah, you have become old now. You should now come out. Up till this time here, come out from that, the wrongs. Leave that and abandon that, following of the nafs, etc. Okay, if you're young, still understood, but you are aged now, so how can this be tolerated now? Why are you doing it now? जवानी में कर लिया तो कर लिया, बुढ़ापा में तो नहीं. And more than that, Hazrat Wala is saying, बुढ़ापा में अब ये आखिरी वक्त है. And the most important thing is that of the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah ta'ala is pleased. Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutma'inna, O the contented soul. Now, regarding no nafs, did Allah ta'ala address it. Rather, He just mentioned it by the way. It is the nafs mutma'inna that Allah Ta'ala directly addresses. Oh, the contented soul. So, when a person understands himself and humbles himself as much as the earth and the lowly land which we walk on, he understands himself to be lower than that. Wherever he gets a space, he sits down. In fact, he'll even sit on the floor. Don't we say that such a humble person, he's sitting on the floor, meaning there was no place on the beds there or on the seats. He went and sat right on the floor. So Allah Ta'ala does not address the nafs lawwama. Neither does He address the nafs ammara. But when a person carries on walking this path and he comes out of those two and he comes into the nafs mutma'inna, then he becomes worthy and deserving of being addressed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hazrat Wala is speaking of Allama Khalid Mahmood. He said we met on one occasion in UK or as well we met, but in South Africa at the O.R. Tambo Airport, Johannesburg Airport, we met there. And he started telling me his life and his ta'alluq was with this one, that one, etc. Nevertheless, he even came into the silsila and I had given him khilafat. And he was also saying about the same thing, about salat. He was also talking about the same thing, that of salat. So, at the time of tahajjud, mehu or dost, it's just me and the beloved, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ab to aaja, ab to khalwat ho gayi. Now, come Allah, oh Allah, please come. My heart is emptied of everything. Ab khalwat ho gayi. Har tamanna rukhsat ho gayi. Every desire, thought and trouble has left. Now you come. So a person is focused to Allah, and more than anything else, Allah Ta'ala is focused to that person in salat. وَعَلَى الثَّلَاثَةِ الَّذِينَ خُلِّفُوا. When the penalty came against the three that stayed away from that expedition, then and all were commanded not to speak to them. When they would read salat, then Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to look at them. But after the salat, when they used to come to meet Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would turn away. He would not pay attention to them. Now, ulama have even written this here, because the Nabi is mutakhalliq bi akhlaqillah, is one who has adorned and embellished himself completely with the akhlaq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in salat, Allah ta'ala looks and focuses at a person completely and totally. So even though Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was ordered to do whatever he was doing, not paying attention to them because of the crime that they had committed, and this here now was the consequence of it. But then too, at the time when the Sahabi was reading his salat, the Nabi would look at him because he wanted to adorn himself with the akhlaq of Allah. And the akhlaq of Allah is, when a person reads salat, then Allah Ta'ala focuses and turns his attention to that person. Now, you make dua. It is the last part of my life that I also achieve this type of salat. You know, Maulana Zahurul Hasan used to say, if you want to see salat, true salat, then you must look at the salat of Mauli Wasiullah. You know what can I tell you about the salat of Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab? Okay, we'll talk about that. We used to get him ready and we would tell him that Hazrat, there's still time, we can leave a bit later to go to the masjid. And what did he have to say? Now look, they're stopping me from going to the masjid. Now we knew Hazrat and his bimari and blood pressure, etc. Sometimes now you're looking for the other option. So we get Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab ready and then we take him to the masjid. And then he would say, now look, a sick person like me, they take me and so long before time they come and put me. So this was the type of Islah and such a delicate type of nature and that honor and self-respect that they possess themselves, all that put together, a person had to make bardasht. He had to tolerate that. नाज़नीन की नाज को बर्दाश्त करना पड़ता है. Nevertheless, Hazrat Mirza Mazhar Jani Jana Rahimahullah was there, the Sheikh, and Hazrat Shah Ghulam Ali, the Murid and the disciple. Anyway, he has one of these hand fans in his hand and he's fanning the Sheikh there. So the Sheikh then says that what's up, what seems to be the problem? You've got no gumption in yourself. Heart mein koi sakat to hai nahi kya? You've got no strength in yourself. And anyway, he started doing it very fast. So the Sheikh then goes on to say, itne zor se ke mujhe ura dega. Now you are fanning me so harshly and so fast. Do you actually want to take me and throw me out, lift me off the ground so that I fly into the air? Anyway, it just came out from the mouth. It was uttered. And what did he say? Now what to do? That's not right and this is also not right. That just had to come out from his lips. That the Sheikh went on to say that out from here, you undeserving person. Go out, leave from here, you are dismissed. So, when you stay with these saintly people, marzi ke mutabik chalna. You have to go according to their marzi and their happiness. Whether you understand it, samajh mein aa jaye ya nahi. Nevertheless, I am saying all of this here, apne liye sunata hu. I am saying it for myself. I am saying it for myself. Shaykh al-Tafsir, Hazrat Maulana Muhammad Idris Kandalwi writes that why was it designated for the night, the greatest salat of the nafal salat, the tahajjud, for the time of the night? Because raat adatan khalwat or tanhai ka waqt hai. The night is majority of the time it is for solitude and when a person is alone. In such a time, that a person turns to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is for that reason that the Quran itself speaks about the excellence of Qiyamul Layl and the Tahajjud Salat. The Mufassir of the Quran, Qazi Sanaullah Panipati writes, Inna salata a'la maqamatil mu'min. That salat is the highest of the stations or the stages of the believer. وَهِيَ مِعْرَاجُ الْمُؤْمِنِ. It is the ascension and mi'raj of the believer. وَعِمَادُ الدِّينِ. It is a pillar of deen. قال المجدد, Hazrat Mujaddid al-Fithani used to say, حقيقة الصلاة, the reality of salat, فوق سائر المقامات التي يمكن حصولها للبشر. It is higher than all those stations that a person is achieving in his path, in his walking towards Allah, in his closeness and proximity. Salat, the reality of salat is such that it is the highest of all these maqamat and these stations that can ever be possible for a human to reach. The highest of all of that is that of salat. والصلاة معراج المؤمن تكون للعبد wasila ila ru'yatillahi ta'ala. And the salat, which is the very mi'raj of a believer, it is in essence a means of a person seeing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, let's continue. So, Allah Ta'ala protect us. Hazrat Maulana Sayyid Ahmad Raza Bijunori Rahimahullah writes that Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's ascension, the Mi'raj, is counted from amongst his greatest miracles. And from that, and through the barakat of that, the Ummat Muhammadiyah was blessed with this, that in their salat, they will make such a type of taraqqi and such a type of a progress in the different stations that it will become, this salat will become a mi'raj now for them, this ummah. Therefore, it is for this reason that mi'raj is known or shown or told to be the ascension of a believer. And the salat in itself is actually a duplication. It is actually a memory of the actual mi'raj which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam undertook. Now in all of this here, there is indication and ishara to this. Allama Suhaili and others have said that in salat itself, the last portion of the salat, the incident of mi'raj is also spoken about, and that is التحيات لله والصلوات والطيبات السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. So namaz is the mi'raj of a mu'min, and by means of this mi'raj, step by step, he starts covering the spiritual stations in his walk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now salat is such that we should make sure that from every side completely and totally shaitan does not penetrate. Shaitan does not penetrate. And it is for this reason that we recite the Ayatul Kursi so much for this protection. Ayatul Kursi for this protection. So the essence of salat is that a person's body is facing towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, towards the Qibla. His body is facing towards the Qibla and his heart is focused on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For a mu'min, this dunya is a place of examination. And ibadat itself comes under the ambit of this imtihan and examination. Now because of this here, shaitan also leaves no stone unturned. Rather, he takes every step forward in trying to make a person deprived from the actual true fruits of salat. Shaitan took that a pledge, and that's what he said to Allah, that he will lead and he will launch his attack against insan. He will lead them astray. Yes, except for those saintly servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala he cannot get control over them, because they have with them the gaze and the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, 50 salats in exchange of 50, we read 5 salats, but we get the reward of 50. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made and stipulated the ultimate proximity for the servant to Allah. It was what? It was the greatest gift that was bestowed during this ascension and this journey of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nevertheless, it was said to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam that for you and your ummah, 50 salats has been prescribed during the day and during the night. Nevertheless, when Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam went, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam came to know that the ummah had been given 50 salats. Then he said, why don't you return and ask for a decrease in the salat? It's too many. Because I had experience with my people from before. They will not manage. Nevertheless, in all of this year, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the end leaves. And what's the nida from the background? And what's the caller calling and saying, Ya Muhammad, innahunna khamsu salawatin, kulla yawmin wa laylatin, likulli salatin ashar, فَذَلِكَ خَمْسُونَ salatan. O Muhammad, it is 5 salats in essence, 5 in the day and night, in your 24 hours. However, for each one, you would get the reward of 10. And that's how it equals to 50 salats. So this year is a great gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nevertheless, much is mentioned here. Anas radiyallahu ta'ala an has mentioned here that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam has mentioned that send abundant salat upon Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, because no one from amongst the Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam was more gracious and more kind to my ummah than him. Meaning he was the one who said, listen, go and ask for a decrease there. Go and ask for it to be made less. So that is also mentioned. Nevertheless, Hazrat Wala is saying that I don't have inshirah and my mind open-hearted, and my mind, I'm not well. So maybe tomorrow or another time. So but namaz is the foundation. Therefore, we have to be very particular about our salat. Some people used to come to Tanabon, to Hazrat Tanvi, and then they would start with this wazifa and that wazifa. Hazrat Tanvi would then reprimand them or ask them, but I have stipulated salat for you. Why did you start with this or that or the other? So he started them off with salat. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb used to spend so much of time in just making his wudu at that time of Dhuhr. And majority of the time he would land up with that same wudu, reading Asr, Maghrib, and sometimes even Isha. He would go on to always say and mention, Jaisa wuzu, waisa namaz. How your wuzu is, accordingly that's how your salat will be. Jaisa Ramadan, waisa pura sal. How you would spend your Ramadan, that's how you're going to find the entire year. Allah Ta'ala give us all good health. You know, sihat and health is everything. On one occasion, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab said to me that, what do you think? So I said to him, Hazrat, it's in Aqidat, I said, Alhamdulillah, so much of work is being done. So Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab immediately said, no, what I'm trying to say that if I had health, if there was health here, I'm speaking, I'm doing this, that and the other. However, if health, it's coupled with health, a person will be able to do it easily, with inshirah, with much openness of the heart and mind. Otherwise, a person is so restricted because he's overwhelmed by that of the sickness. Now what to say, where can I have inshirah? And there's also the demands of age also. Allah give me health and strength and ikhlas. Make dua. Other family members are also worried, etc. And there's so many things to do, shadi biyah, etc. And we need to go to Lucknow. But Allah Ta'ala create such individuals that will keep this continuing and going on. Allah Ta'ala bless us with afiyat. Allahumma aslih li fi dhurriyyati inni tubtu ilayka wa inni minal muslimin. That is for your own awlad and your progeny. O Allah, grant righteousness to my progeny, because I'm making tawbah to you and I'm from amongst the Muslims. And then look how vast after that. Allahumma aslih أمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم ارحم أمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم تجاوز عن أمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم فرج عن أمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Nevertheless, the dua of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam has encompassed everybody. You people have come with so much of love for me to take you and push you to a level or to your destination, etc. There is much deficiency in that. But because you people have come with so much of love and muhabbat, Allah Ta'ala will make you return with فيوز and بركات. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.